I'm here with a Ford F-150 Lightning in the Lariat trim level, and I borrowed this truck yesterday from a Ford dealer, and they were gracious enough to let me borrow this truck to review it. And I did some first driving yesterday and some basic going through the vehicle to get used to it. And in this video, I want to share my reaction to the truck. I want to go through some of my favorite features, and I want to discuss whether or not this truck is still relevant now that the Tesla Cybertruck is available. I'm John, and this is Cleanerwatt. Okay, let's start with the exterior of the truck and my reaction to the truck style. Overall, of course, this truck looks very similar to a traditional Ford F-150. You do have a much cleaner grille here. Of course, it's not a real grille, it's just like a plastic area here. And then you have this nice light bar that goes across. And that does look great when it's driving down the road. But if you were just to quickly pass this truck and you didn't know it was electric, you may not know that. Now, one of the big key features about the Ford F-150 Lightning is the vehicle's front trunk. It's got a huge 14.1 cubic foot front trunk. And I have the key fob here. And to open that, you can just double click this right there, and it'll pop open the front trunk. Now, this particular one, I need to go through the settings and figure it out. I believe you can set the height at which the front trunk opens. Right now, this one's only opening it up partially. Now, you can go and manually push this back up, and that's not normal. Normally, this would open up all the way. But this is a massive, massive front trunk, 14.1 cubic feet. And this is pretty much nearly double what the Tesla Cybertruck has when it comes to the front trunk space. In addition, and this is one of my favorite features, not only the front trunk is one of my favorite features of the Ford F-150 Lightning, but I love that you have four, in this particular one, this is the 9.6 kilowatt Pro Power Onboard version of the truck, but I have four 120 volt outlets there, and of course a USB-A and USB-C port. But yeah, this front trunk is really one of the big key features of the F-150 Lightning. And this is something that, you know, I wish the Cybertruck had a little bit bigger front trunk. I wish the Cybertruck had outlets in the front trunk, and it doesn't. Now, of course, you have a little bit of underbed storage here, and you actually have a drainage thing there, so you can put ice in here and use it as a cooler, and it will drain. So that's very handy. But just overall, you know, very well designed front trunk, and tons of storage space here. Now, of course, one of the key features of a pickup truck is the rear bed, and this rear bed does not disappoint. So once again, with this key fob, I can double click right here, and it'll actually lower the tailgate. This is a power tailgate. Now, the Cybertruck does have the ability to lower the tailgate for you with a button. However, this tailgate as well will automatically raise if I do that once again, double click there, and it will automatically lift it up as well. Okay, so in this tailgate, there's actually a step that you can pull out to make it a lot easier to get back into the bed of the truck. So you push here, pull this out like that, drop that down. Then you have a yellow bar here that you pull out, snap into place, and then I actually have a place to grab here and a step to step on. So I can put my hand here and grab this, and I can go like this, step down, step like this, and make it a lot easier to get back into the bed of the truck. So you can see that angle here. Just a great little area to get up and down out of the truck. So coming down here, I can put my hand right here, I can step down, and get down out of the bed of the truck. Of course, the Cybertruck has this as well, but this particular 9.6 kilowatt hour Pro Power Onboard unit does have your 120 volt outlets there, two there, 120 volt outlets there, two more, and then this has a 30 amp, 240 volt AC outlet there. This is the NEMA 1430R, and that's built into the truck right there. 7.2 kilowatt max. But I also really love that this truck has bed lighting. So when I push that button there, we have lights on either side of the bed, and those turn on. And it looks like you have lights right up in there too that shine down. So at nighttime, if you need to get into the bed of the truck and it's dark, that'll definitely be handy. But overall, I mean, it's a good sized bed. I think it's 67.1 inches long and over 4 feet in between the wheel wells. So you can definitely accommodate a 4x8 sheet of plywood or drywall. And the Cybertruck rear bed is slightly longer, but nonetheless, this is still a very usable rear bed. Okay, with that being said, let's now move to the interior of the truck, and I'll talk about my favorite interior features. When it comes to the amount of room that's in this truck, there's plenty of elbow room. Once again, the seat is extremely comfortable. Another one of my favorite features in this truck is, of course, the glass sunroof. It has one for the front and the back, and that really makes the truck cabin feel open and airy. There's plenty of room here for rear passengers. Let me go ahead and get in and let's see how comfortable these seats are. Okay, so I'm sitting in the seat right here, and I'm very happy with the comfort here. When it comes to legroom, sitting back here, I mean, I would say a good almost 5 inches of legroom here, knee room, and this front seat is actually set to where I like it. Plenty of room, and I'm 6'1". Another great feature built into this truck is if you raise up these back seats, you have a little storage cubby down below. And both seats, of course, have that storage cubby there, so that's definitely a nice, handy little feature that I really love. So this truck does have an AC outlet right here. And then, of course, right there as well. Now, one of the features that my wife really likes is the fact that she doesn't like to have a big screen in the vehicle. She finds it distracting. So I like that if you go to your settings here and you come to this screen here, the controls screen, you actually have a setting called calm screen. You click that, and it's basically like when you have your phone screen off and you just see, maybe you touch the side button and it shows you the time and a few other basic things. But this is a mode that she really likes, and she actually does like this truck, and this is one of the reasons, because this allows this not to be so distracting, and it just leaves up the HVAC controls right there. To get out of this mode, just touch there. So because it's important to my wife, that's an important feature, and that's actually one of my favorite features that they built into this truck. Now, I will say one of the features that are my favorite comes down to the ability to see around the truck with a 360 view in the cameras. So if we click that camera view right there, it shows me the front view of the truck. And in addition to that, we have our bird's eye view here. And if we touch plus here, we can actually zoom in on various sections of the truck. So if there's something around us, we can see it a little easier with this bird's eye view. So that's definitely a very handy feature there. So we'll put this truck into reverse, and it has a really good reverse screen there and the indicator showing where we're going. And if I turn the steering wheel, you notice it will show me the arc where I'm turning. When it comes to your drive modes, you have 4 different drive modes: normal, sport, off-road, towing, and hauling. If we come to our off-road mode here, it's showing us that we can turn on and off locking differential. It looks like it turns on one pedal driving automatically. And with that being said, I want to introduce the sponsor of today's video, Fantic. So when you do go off-roading, you'll probably want to air down your tires to like 15 or 20 PSI, depending on what you're driving over, to increase the traction of the tires. But of course, then you need to air the tires back up before you leave. Okay, I deflated this tire down to 20 PSI, and let's just see how long this takes to inflate this all the way to where it needs to go. Okay, so let me go ahead and check the PSI here. It says it reached the target 39, and it did that in less than 3 minutes. So it was able to go from 20 PSI to 39 in less than 3 minutes. So you definitely can inflate up your tires decently quick. And this is powerful enough, once again, with a 92.5 watt-hour battery to go ahead and do that with all 4 tires if you needed to, no problem. I do like that not only is this a tire inflator and I can go ahead and store this back underneath here, but this also has a 2000 lumen light built into it. And this is also a portable power station to charge up your devices with a USB-A or USB-C ports here. If you want something that is powerful and portable, the Fantic X9 Ultra is definitely one to consider. And they have a special deal right now on Amazon, and I will put the details down in the video description how you can do that. Even after inflating those tires, you can hear the fan is cooling down the battery there, but even after inflating that tire, we can see that the battery is still showing full. So definitely plenty of battery capacity in this unit. Okay, so I just picked up this Ford F-150 Lightning from the Ford dealer across the street. And I've only driven it just once again, a few hundred feet across the street here. This is a Lariat trim level. So not the top platinum trim level, but a good, solidly equipped vehicle. It does have Blue Cruise, a bunch of other features, but I wanted to just share my initial impressions with how this truck drives. I will say that my initial impressions of this touchscreen is they've done a really good job with software. Just with my short drive so far though, as far as my reaction to the truck, I really do like the one-pedal driving on this truck. It's good and strong. So Ford did a good job with the regen. Once again, when it comes to the infotainment system, very user intuitive, good big size screen. Of course, we have our driver's cockpit display here as well. But we're going to get on the freeway here. I'm really curious to see how the road noise is on the freeway. That's really a good test. You know, you can have a truck that feels pretty smooth or a vehicle that feels pretty smooth and quiet, you know, on good paved roads. But when you get on the freeway, that's going to be really a good test here. So do the loop here, get on the freeway. Steering feels good on the vehicle. Steering wheel feels good. So yeah, this is a pretty quiet truck right now on the freeway. This is definitely quieter than some of the other vehicles that I've recently driven. You still have some road noise. You can probably hear that. Right now I have Smart Cruise on and the lane centering feature. So it's keeping me in my lane, and the adaptive cruise is keeping me at a set speed. And of course, if I were to get over here, so I'm going to go ahead and get over, and I did see that it had a blind spot warning there. So I'm going to get over here, and I'm going to take my speed up a couple of miles per hour to go with the flow of traffic. So what I do like is that it allowed me to go ahead and change a lane, and I did that manually. This did not automatically change that lane. I did that lane change manually, but I was able to change the lane, and it did not kick me out of the Smart Cruise and the lane centering. So it kept that going. So I do like that it did that for me. I'm going to go and get back over and do that once again. So I'm able to change lanes with this mode enabled without kicking it out of it. Okay, completely stopped, and I'm going to now accelerate to 55 miles an hour. And that was pretty amazing. The truck, right now in the sport mode, the truck was actually, it was pulling very, very hard, but I actually heard just a teeny bit of squealing of the tires, just a little bit. Very impressive acceleration there. I'm definitely impressed with what I got there with that acceleration, that 0 to 60 mile per hour there. Very quick for a truck. I don't have an actual timer there. Maybe I can look at the time sequence of the video and see how long it took me to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour there. But yeah, that was definitely pretty quick. Okay, I want to talk about efficiency. So this truck, of course, with a fully charged battery should give you somewhere in optimal conditions around 320 miles of range. So over the last 64 and a half miles, and I don't believe all of that was me, but over the last 64 and a half miles, this truck has averaged 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the math up on the screen for how many miles of real world range that would be for that 65 miles. But you can see that climate took 19%, driving 59%, accessories, and exterior temperature. So I like that they gave you a breakdown there and it tells you where that's going. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I believe the Ford F-150 Lightning is still relevant even though the Tesla Cybertruck is available. And one of the reasons I'll say that is because if you go with the Pro model with the standard range battery pack, this truck starts at, before some fees and stuff, it starts at just around the $50,000 price point. Whereas right now the Tesla Cybertruck, the Foundation Series trucks, the dual motor truck is $99,990 plus delivery fees, etc. You're in a different price point for starting prices right now. Yes, the Cybertruck in 2025 should be offered in a lower cost rear-wheel drive version, and it will have around 250 miles of range. But if you need a truck right now, and you don't want to spend $100,000 to $120,000 plus dollars for that truck, and you want to just get a good basic work truck, Ford F-150 Lightning, I believe, is your truck. This particular one is $80,000, which is still a lot of money. But once again, if you needed a well-equipped truck right now and you didn't want to spend $100,000, this would still be a good purchase. Since in 2025, they're going to have the NACS Tesla charging built into this truck. That charging port will be built into this truck. And since right now the Ford is offering the NACS CCS charging adapter and the Tesla charging network has been opened up to Ford customers, you can still take these trucks on long road trips. So I believe the Ford F-150 Lightning is still relevant. In a lot of ways, it's aimed at a different customer than the Tesla Cybertruck. The Tesla Cybertruck, I believe, draws in a lot more new truck buyers that haven't owned a truck before. They maybe, like myself, they're just fans of Tesla in general. They love the Cybertruck. It's an amazingly cool looking truck. It has great features. It's unlike any other truck on the market. But for your typical truck buyer that is used to Ford trucks, that wants to stick with more of a traditional truck, this is probably the truck they're going to choose. And Ford has been building trucks for a long time. They know how to build them. I do want to say a special thank you to Butler Ford in Ashland, Oregon. Thank you for allowing me to borrow this truck and really test it out. If you're in the Southern Oregon area and you want to purchase a Ford F-150 Lightning or a Mustang Mach-E, I definitely recommend that you go check them out, and they can really take care of you there. But once again, thank you for allowing me to drive this truck. And overall, I think this is a truck that's definitely worth purchasing. Well, thank you so much for watching this video all the way through to the end. I'd like to say once again, if you want to purchase a good air inflator, I want to say thank you to Fantic for sponsoring this video. I will put a link down below where you can purchase the Fantic inflator at a good discounted price on Amazon, a special link, so make sure you go for that. And then also I'd like to say once again, thank you to all of those of you who support me through Patreon. Your support makes a big difference and does help make these videos possible. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support my work through Patreon, I will put a link in the video description. Thank you so much.